Morning, brothers and sisters, patriots and citizens. This morning I'd like to talk about something, and it's some articles I'm going to post in written form, and I'd like you to know that I stand with you, and these facts that I present to you today are nothing but the truth, the whole truth, so help me God. I wonder who runs America, the truth about a secret government, and why your vote doesn't matter. As the world, are we thriving at our best? The question may seem comical, of course. It depends on how you look at it. Is our day-to-day happiness living in the moment and feeling fulfillment by our home, or our job, or our loved ones, our environment? Then there are those deep-rooted issues of feeling like we are not thriving as the world because there are obstacles as we simply cannot overcome. And most of the time that's true. I was sitting on the beach the other day, staring out at the vast ocean and asking myself, do I feel free? At first I thought, well, yes. Despite government control in my own little world, I'm happy, and I do not feel chained to any idea or a person, and so on. But then I wondered if perhaps I'm just brainwashed. Foster Gamble of Thrive answers in a way both alarms me and causes me to open my eyes and be a little bit more open-minded. A link to that will be provided. My research revealed that a small group of financial elite have gained control over key areas of our lives: energy, food, healthcare, education, and more. And they are single greatest threat to humanity's ability to thrive. The financial elite who govern us do so out of greed, not for a better world or better America, but for heavy pockets, incredible power. A study conducted by 2 political science professors suggests ordinary Americans have virtually no impact on making national policy. So who runs America? Rich individuals and business-controlled interest groups. A link will be provided for that to show you proof. In the throes of political upheaval, there is so much discussion about what should have been, could have been, and what will be. It is the confusion of controversial time in the U.S. when voters put Barack Obama in office. They anticipated big changes. Obama sought to defend civil liberties and privacies. Yet many questions have been stated on how Obama's version of national security is that much different than the one he inherited. And it's so much more different than the one he inherited, actually. His 2000 speech has become a cautionary tale of the gulf between powerful campaign rhetoric and reality. Noted CNN, while the president lets down the country and we are left to believe in his wrongdoings. The reality is he couldn't have pulled it off in the first place, to be honest with you. Guantanamo Bay remains open. The NSA has, if anything, become more aggressive in monitoring Americans. Drone strikes have escalated. Most recently, it was reported that the same president who won a Nobel Prize in part for promoting nuclear disarmament is spending up to $1 trillion modernizing and revitalizing America's nuclear weapons. Noted a 24 article from the Boston Globe. This isn't reality. This is reality. This isn't really a discussion about what was accomplished or not with Obama in office. However, just a small part of a much bigger issue. Tufts University political scientist Michael J. Glennon backs this up and this idea that Obama couldn't change policy even if he had tried. As Americans, we are told we can steer our own government by electing new officials. But the truth of the matter is we are victims of a double government. There's the one that we elect, and there's the one behind it, in which disturbing amount of policy goes unchecked. And that's the truth. And people don't seem to see that, or do they want to realize it, or take it into their hearts that it's true. For instance, Glennon points out, Obama and his team shock and dismay upon discovering the military gave them only 2 options for the war in Afghanistan once he arrived in office. The United States could have added more troops, or they could add a lot more troops. So while fans became angry to find that he had opted for adding 30,000 more troops, The reality of it all is that he really had no choice, states the Boston Globe. It's hard to swallow the pill that a secret government truly governs us, making us mere puppets in their play, but there are far more examples that have been overlooked in the course of our society and in the people, especially those of the middle class and the poor. See, they prey on our ignorance is the key to it all. Take a look at the National Security Agency, NSA. For instance, founded in 1952, the existence was kept secret from the public until the mid-1960s. Even more disturbing is the National Reconnaissance Office, founded in 1960. It remained secret for 30 years before it was officially revealed by Edward Snowden a few years ago, who was a patriot, I might add. He stood up and he was counted, and they prosecuted him and condemned him for it. People have a right to know what our government's doing. It is our duty to speak out as intellectuals and individuals. There are a plethora of political individuals who have discussed the secrecy as well. John F. Halen, for example, was mayor of New York City from, I believe, 1918-1925, and he has become famously quoted as saying, "The real menace of our republic is the indivisible government, which like a giant octopus sprawls its slimy legs over our cities, states, and nations." The little coterie of powerful international bankers virtually run the United States government for their own selfish purposes. They practically controlled both parties and control the majority of the newspapers and magazines in this country. They use the columns of these papers to club into submission or drive out of office political and public officials who refuse to do the bidding of the powerful corrupt cliques or cliches which compose the invisible government. It operates under cover of self-created screen and seizes and executive offices, legislative bodies, schools, courts, newspapers, and every agency created for the public protection and public interest. And this has become fact to this day. And in the times like today, with the WikiLeaks blowing the lid on the many lies within the U.S. government, it's hard not to feel even more tricked, even more out of control of our lives than ever before. Bernie Sanders said from the beginning that he was essentially being bullied by the DNC, yet it was until the first Hillary leaks that we have come to find out just how real and serious, and more than anything, how rigid the political game really is. It's not about fairness, it's about money. And its hidden agenda sweeps us all off our feet and continues to take control of our lives. So the question remains, and is more pertinent now than ever before. How can we truly believe we are living in a democracy when the president don't even have enough power to significantly change anything or do anything for the betterment of the people? I believe Obama, if had the choice, truly would have made changes. Are we really free, or have we been conditioned to believe we are? Corporations and mainstream media have us glued to our TV screens, searching for answers, searching for promises that can never be kept, living as the puppets we are. And that's exactly what we are, people. We've become distracted from the truth, our attention diverted to what we want to hear as opposed to what we need to hear, the truth. Go ahead and argue over what we should be, what the should, or who the president should be. And go ahead and be angry or excited over the president that does get elected. But just know that you're wasting your breath on this very simple idea if you think it's going to matter. If we want the real change, we have to look within. We have to look to ourselves. We can't keep putting our faith and tasking our leaders with the task of changing the world. The first step is awareness, and it's happening faster and faster. Most people are starting to become aware of what really is happening in our planet. The next step is action, and we are just starting as a collective in unity of people to take the various actions and steps that we need for our future and for our children. The future really is brighter than ever. It's always darkest just before the dawn. I say stand free. Stand your ground. Beat another if you can. Stand up and be counted. As an intellectual, as an individual. It is your duty, not only to yourselves, but to the future generations to come. May God bless us all. May God bless America. May you have a beautiful day. Love and peace. Joseph Barber coming to you live from the high desert, Southern California.